The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
And the handoff goes to Johnny English, who breaks out of it. Still going, Johnny English! And English will score! Touchdown, Renegades! He caught it between two defenders! OKC is taking the lead! Matsumoto back to throw. He's in trouble again! This is insanity from Jordan Gray! Look at Gunner! 20, 10, it's a runaway! Touchdown, Gunner! It's H.O. Oh, he made three people miss! H.O. breaks a tackle! He's done it again! Touchdown! Hand off to Snowden up the middle, now tries to cut it right. Beautiful move by Snowden! He's in the open field! Midfield! 40, 30, 20! Richard Snowden to the half! Touchdown, Dragons! Back to pass. Looking, fumbling the football, and it is recovered by Orlando at the 17. Line formation, handoff to Overstreet around the right-hand side. Overstreet picks him up, and there he goes. Overstreet, touchdown.
Welcome to Liberty Park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's Thursday Night Football on the SFL Network on Twitch TV, and tonight the 3-4 Oklahoma City Renegades look for a key TO Conference victory against the 6-1 Sioux Falls Sparrows. Good evening, I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Between these two teams, they have zero losses of more than 7 points. Oklahoma City's just lost more close games than Sioux Falls. Can the Sparrows keep up with Santa Fe? And can Oklahoma City force a four-way tie for third in the conference? Coin toss next. Renegades win the toss, they will kick. That means Julian Tyree, Jordan Jennings, and the rest of this high-octane offense for Sioux Falls will take the field first tonight. It's the conclusion of Week 8, 2/3 of the way through the SFL season. Oklahoma City, kick it! We're underway. From the 7-yard line, Terrain James on the return, and nicely done out to the 30. The quarterback for Sioux Falls is Julian Tyree, quarterback rating of 96, 247 of 327 throwing, 2,768 yards, 21 interceptions in 7 games with 22 touchdowns, and he averages 395.4 yards per game. Tyree and this passing offense will certainly be a test to Oklahoma City's defense, which gave up 35 or 38 points to Santa Fe last week. Pass over the middle is incomplete. And I believe Savage was on the coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10, early 2nd and long coming up for Sioux Falls. In their home, all grays with the yellow numbers, black trimmings, and the yellow and black feathers down the side. Oklahoma City in the blue road helmets, white jerseys, blue pants, red numbers, and the bright yellow and red trim on the side. Change of play from Julian Tyree at the line, out of the eye for the Sparrows. And play action from Tyree. He'll fire deep down the field and got him looking in the backfield. Pass is caught by Jordan Jennings. Cam Michael, it looked like he was step for step with Jennings. And we're not going to get an instant replay, but it looked like Michael peeked into the backfield a little bit, and you have to be disciplined against this Sioux Falls passing attack, and Michael was not on that play. Tyree will go play action again. He's got Jennings wide open for a touchdown. Back-to-back times, Oklahoma City gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and it's 6-0. And if I'm Oklahoma City, there's absolutely no reason why I would even think about looking for Jordan Jennings, except maybe if he got a pass to the outside. But the play-action game, which is a rarity to see in the SFL, working for Sioux Falls in the opening minute and has throughout the season, and already it's 6-0 Sparrows. Extra point for Sammy Prefontaine is up and good, and it's Sioux Falls 7 and Oklahoma City nothing right away, and we're just getting settled in here. Sonic 0002, Jason 1347, AJ Pick 6. The Sioux Falls faithful in the chat. And the Sparrows do it with Jordan Jennings, not Benny Beasley, on the opening drive. From the 3-yard line on the return is Malone, and Malone is hit hard at the 26. So Julian Tyree gets his 23rd touchdown of the season. Jordan Jennings his 8th. Caesar Cannon actually has the most receiving touchdowns on the team with 9. Joseph Redfeather, 77.9 efficiency, 11 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 1,664 yards. Completes 68% of his passes, 13 completions away from 200. Averages 237.7 yards per game. And on first down, OKC will throw. Redfeather lofts it over the middle of the field. Caught by Tiberius Bovine. No, he dropped it. They said he dropped it. I thought for sure that was a catch for 14 yards. And instead it'll be 2nd and 10 for OKC. Nice hit down the middle. I thought that was a catch for Bovine.
2nd and 10. Ball
10:09 to go. Trips off to the right side for Redfeather. He will hand it off to Pete Brewski up the middle, and Brewski stopped for just a 1-yard gain. Nice play by the defensive front of Sioux Falls. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 early on for Oklahoma City. This is not how the Renegades wanted to start this game. 3rd down and 9 for Redfeather, back to pass. And Redfeather down the field, caught, first down. And pushing ahead of the 43-yard line is DW6 Killer with the move of the chains for the Renegades. That is a big 3rd down conversion for OKC. They've done well in not getting into 3-and-out situations much this season. But after the fast start for the Sioux Falls offense, good to give the defense a little rest. 2 in the backfield with, I believe, Michael Boyer top of the screen. 2 backs, Watts and Brewski. Play action from Redfeather, and he'll dump it off. That pass is caught by Slinky Watts for a pickup of 5, and both teams' play action game is working effectively here in the opening couple of minutes. OKC now 2 yards shy of midfield. Sioux Falls defense up front, number 91, Alex Parker, number 5, Dustin Palos, the 2 defensive ends. Cornerback Adam Hollister, number 33, strong safety Sage Schumann, number 20, and we'll get to the stars on the defense in a moment. Redfeather to throw, and Redfeather down the middle, caught by Massey, I believe. Pickup of 3, flips the ball back to the line, and it's 3rd and 2 at the Sparrow 49-yard line. This will be the 6th play of the drive for OKC. Cornerbacks are Zeno Sika, number 19, and number 38, Delta Coakley. The strong safety is number 45, Jace Jefferson. Free safety, number 42, A.J. Levy. And the linebackers, number 63, Mike Dawes. Number 52, Kirk Marquez. And number 50, Gage Wilson. 3rd down and short for the Renegades. They'll throw. Redfeather's pass is caught by Boyer on a slant over the middle to the Sioux Falls 43-yard line. Back-to-back 3rd down conversions for Oklahoma City as they're chewing some clock here on their opening possession. That's the first catch of the game for Michael Boyer. And he goes uncovered as Zeno Sika was covering a short zone to the outside. Osika taking away that out route, but Boyer Goes up the middle nicely there.
1st and 10 from the start. 43-yard.
Trips off to the left side for OKC. Brewski in the backfield, 7:45 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Sparrows. Red Feather to throw again. Gets it away. A wobbly pass, but caught by Six Killer. No huddle offense here for OKC as the clock has stopped. A pickup of 7 yards on the reception. This OKC no-huddle offense, probably the best in the league so far this year. Play action for Red Feather. Red Feather will go outside. That pass is caught by Boyer towards the corner. Boyer to the 21-yard line, just over the outstretched hands of the defense. And OKC is on the move nearly into the red zone, trying to answer Sioux Falls' touchdown. A toss out to Brewski, and Brewski will break outside, make a man miss, picks up 4. 2nd and 6 at the 18, tackle made, I believe, on the outside by Osika. Trips off left. 7:20 to go in the first. Red Feather going to drop back to pass. He's going to check it down to Brewski. And Brewski lost a couple of yards. 3rd down and 9 coming up here for OKC. Can they move the chains once again on 3rd down and long? Red Feather play action back to pass. Fires right side. Caught by Bovine. 1st down with a stiff arm down to the 5. Officially marked at the 6-yard line, actually, but some more brilliant offense out of OKC on 3rd down. They have 3 3rd down conversions on this drive. Red Feather back to pass will hit Brewski. Brewski tried to get inside the 5. And a nice tackle in the open field, I believe, made by Levy. 2nd and goal at the 6 coming up. But still an impressive drive for the Renegades, taking a lot of time off the clock. And we'll see if they can execute in the red zone, which has been an area of trouble for OKC. Giving me a workout early. Trips off right side for Red Feather. Back to pass on 2nd down and goal. Red Feather fires right side. Caught at the 4. That was Manley. 3rd down and goal at the 4. Coming up for OKC. And in their losses, there have been key moments in games where inside the 20, they've had to settle for field goals. They certainly don't want to continue that trend tonight against the high-powered Sparrows. 3rd down and goal at the 4. They go split backs for the first time tonight. Boyer with a severe height advantage at the top of the screen. Red Feather will pass, and Red Feather's in trouble. Throws back in the end zone. It's intercepted. Intercepted by A.J. Levy, and Red Feather gives away points at the end of the drive. A long drive, double-digit plays for Oklahoma City, ends in a red zone turnover as Tiberius Bovine was the intended receiver, and Levy jumps the pass. So the drive, which lasts 5 minutes, gives the Renegades nothing on the board, and now their defense will try to have a bounce-back effort after getting torched in the opening minute. 3 receivers for Julian Tyree, and Tyree will drop back to pass. Steps into the pocket, fires middle, caught 1st down to the 36. Boy, somebody's read the scouting report. Jordan Jennings with another catch. But Benny Beasley, who leads the league in receptions, does not have a reception so far on the first handful of plays for Sioux Falls. And that may be by design. Billy Joe Casper on the tackle. Obviously, teams gunning at Benny Beasley recently. 3 receivers, 2 off to the left side, 2 in the backfield for the Sparrows. 1st and 10 at the 36, 3 down lineman for OKC. Tyree back to pass, it gets to blitz. Tyree gets the ball away, the pass is caught again at the OKC 37. That's Caesar Cannon. Casper with another tackle. The blitz does not get home on Julian Tyree, and it's another Sioux Falls 1st down into Oklahoma City territory. They are rolling early on in this game. Renegade defense going to have to dig deep here. They're not off to a good start. 4 down linemen. Tight set here for Sioux Falls. And Tyree will drop back the pass. Hits Beasley, and Beasley is dropped for a 1-yard loss. That's Isaac Holt on the tackle. His first reception of the night goes for a loss of 1. 2nd down and 11.
Second and 10.
4:50 and counting. The Sioux Falls offense led by Jennings and Cannon on the outside. Beasley, the running back. Julian Tyree at quarterback. Whereas number 10, Sammy Prefontaine, is the kicker. 2 receivers off left side, back to pass, deep ball down the field, wide open, it's a walk-in touchdown. Jordan Jennings is dominating Oklahoma City in the first quarter. And it hasn't even been close. It's a 14-point swing right now for Sioux Falls. It looks like Oklahoma City's going to go down the field and tie the game at 7. And Jordan Jennings is just running wide open. There's just nobody on him. Second touchdown of the night for Jennings, the league's leading receiver, now with a team-high 9 touchdowns on the year. Jennings coming into the night already a 1,000-yard receiver, 1,096 yards, averages 16.6 yards a catch and 156 yards a game. And Oklahoma City has got to feel absolutely rejected here in the first quarter after it looked like it was going to be at least 7-3, possibly 7-7. And just like that, the Renegades are down 14 early on the road against one of the top teams in the league, and that is never a good formula for success. We'll see how the Renegade offense responds. Did move the ball real nicely on that opening drive. From inside the 5-yard line, Malone on the return, and Malone after the 26. Down to 4:21 to go in the first quarter. This Oklahoma City Renegade offense. Red Feather, Brewski, Michael Boyer, DW6 killer, the 2 receivers on the edge. Slinky Watts, number 39, already has a catch. And the tight end is, of course, Tiberius Bovine. Red Feather back to throw again. Deep ball down the field. Pass is caught by Bovine. 35-30. Bovine 20. 15 breaks a tackle. 10-5 touchdown. First play of the drive for Oklahoma City is a Bovine score. And we've got ourselves a shootout here in the first quarter. So a 5-minute drive for Oklahoma City gets them no points, and a 1-play drive on a nice route from Bovine as Zeno Sika gets caught in quicksand. He just stopped covering Bovine, thought he had a sure pick, and Bovine to the house. And the Renegades bounce back 14-6, and that's got to give OKC a smidgen of confidence there. So the Renegades not shying away from Sioux Falls. Certainly probably don't want to get into a shootout with the Sparrows. But so far, at least, the Renegades have softened the blow of 2 early easy touchdowns from Jordan Jennings. Question is, when will the defense come for OKC, who really has not looked themselves defensively over the last couple of weeks? They gave up 38 points last week, and before that, the most they had given up was 26 on the road to NYC. Already 14 here tonight, 2 touchdowns, 2 possessions rather easily for Sioux Falls as James returns up to the 29-yard line. The Oklahoma City defense, led by Billy Joe Casper at free safety, actually atop the league in interceptions. Cornerbacks are Cam Michael and Isaac Holt, 21 and 29 respectively. Tank Savage, number 49, is strong safety, and Robert Boast, number 46, the star outside linebacker. Benny Beasley with a trap straight up the gut, picks up 9. Nice play call here from Sioux Falls. Oklahoma City showing outside pressure, and right up the middle is the only place where the Renegades had no defenders present. And Sioux Falls gets 9 yards out of Beasley. They'll take that all night long. Out of the eye for Sioux Falls. 4-down lineman for Oklahoma City on 2nd down and short. Back to pass, Tyree out to Beasley, and Beasley is crushed to the line of scrimmage. Isaac Holt doing his job on the outside. 2 catches for -1 yards for Benny Beasley, and it's 3rd and short. If I was Julian Tyree, I would just keep hitting Jordan Jennings. He's done nothing to warrant not going to him here in this first quarter. And I would keep trying to exploit that matchup. Jennings is at the top of the screen. Cam Michael defending, back to pass. Tyree down the middle, caught, beautiful pass to the 42. It's Jennings again. 5 catches for 143 yards in 1 quarter of action. Jordan Jennings says, hey, Scott King, I see you. 324 yards last night. I can top that. Cam Michael is getting owned by Jordan Jennings here early on. 1st and 10 at the OKC 42. Sioux Falls, 3 possessions, 3 trips into Renegade territory like that. They just can't stop Jennings. Tyree to pass. Hits Beasley. Beasley gets a nice block on the outside, but Holt will clean it up. 5-yard pickup. Isaac Holt, a nice sure-handed tackler for the Renegades tonight. Holt 4th on the team in tackles with 29. Tackles are dominated by Casper Savage and Robert Bose. Casper with 10 interceptions this season through 7 games. That is unbelievable. They need to put him on Jordan Jennings. Back to pass. Tyree out to Beasley again. Beasley gets a block, and Holt cleans it up, 3rd and short. Isaac Holt has 4 tackles on the outside, all on Benny Beasley to bring up a 3rd down and 1. Queen City in D.C. is action elsewhere going on around the league as Queen City wearing their New York Knight throwbacks. Queen City and D.C. both 2-5 in a pivotal North Division battle. 3rd down and short, split backs, and a handoff to Beasley. Beasley's got the 1st down. Savage on the tackle. A 1st down to the Renegade 29-yard line. And Oklahoma City's defense just can't seem to figure out who to stop. They're stopping the swing game. Caesar Cannon has not been involved, but Beasley on the ground and Jennings through the air has been the Sparrow offense in this first quarter. Tight set again here. And 9 up close for Oklahoma City. Out to Beasley. Beasley got a key block and picks up 4. I'm telling you, Beasley's needed a couple of these big blocks to get any yardage. Tyree now up to 182 yards and 2 touchdowns just in 1 quarter of work. He's on pace for 800 yards. 2nd down and 6 at the 25-yard line. Renegade defense looking for some sort of positive they can cling to here in the first quarter. 2 receivers. Cannon is in the slot. Tyree back to pass. Short throw to Cannon. He is immediately tackled by Cam Michael. Cannon's first catch of the night. 3rd down and 2 coming up. Sioux Falls is living on 3rd down and short here in the first quarter. And this has been easily Sioux Falls' longest time-consuming drive of the night. From the 21, 3-2 defense out of Oklahoma City with tight coverage on the line. Back to pass Tyree, and Tyree sidearm throws a completion to the outside. That's Terrain James. 1st down to the 16-yard line of OKC. Sioux Falls' defense is just rolling, and we have not heard Billy Joe Casper's name at all. They have not thrown anywhere near his direction so far tonight. Trying to get one last playoff in this first quarter, and Tyree will do just that. Just in the nick of time, Tyree out to Beasley. Beasley is crushed by Robert Bose, a pickup of just 1 yard. That is the end of the first quarter. Sioux Falls' offense looks like a machine. Oklahoma City keeping it close. End of 1. We're back to Liberty Park in a moment. This is Thursday Night Football on Twitch TV. Second and 9 at the OKC 15. 4 receivers. Tyree back to pass. To the outside, caught. And down to the 6 is a 1st and goal for Caesar Cannon. Isaac Holt with his 5th tackle of the first half. But Sioux Falls continuing to move the chains with ease. There's a look at Casper. Can he make something happen inside the goal line? 4-3 defense out there for OKC. One receiver either side. Got to watch out for Jennings. He's already got 2 touchdowns. Back to pass Tyree down the middle of the field. Caught for a score! That's the tight end McGee and a touchdown Sioux Falls. This is wild offense that Sioux Falls is throwing out there tonight. This time it's J.J. McGee, and he just runs a little route, and Romberg was there to defend the pass, and Tyree puts it on the money. And Oklahoma City's just got to hope that their offense can continue to produce. The Renegades have had 2 offensive drives. One got them all the way down to the 5, but a costly red zone interception by Redfeather, and then another a 1-play drive to Bovine. They've certainly moved the ball, not as well as Sioux Falls, but with relative ease, and it's 21-7 with the pressure on the Renegade offense to continue to deliver, while this OKC defense seems to have problems against high-octane pass offenses, which they saw last week in Santa Fe. So Sammy Prefontaine will kick it away. The Renegades have to be a little shell-shocked here. Of course, they rely on their defense. Last week, they gave up some points, but 7 of those points was a defensive touchdown. So you can take that off the board. And 31 points against one of the top offenses in the league is not too shabby of a defensive effort. But 21 points just starting the second quarter? Sioux Falls showing out here on Thursday night. So Oklahoma City with their 3rd offensive possession of the first half. Redfeather to throw again. Redfeather's pass is caught by Sixkiller. Redfeather, besides that one pass that was errant, is having a really strong night. But you can already see Oklahoma City starting to take the bait by playing this pass versus pass game. And arguably, Redfeather could have looked Massey's direction as well, as the tight end was open. So far, everything okay for the Renegade offense, but Pete Bruschi not much involved in the first half so far. 2 receivers off to the left side, and Bruschi does take the handoff. Bruschi stopped in the backfield by Mike Doss. A loss of 3 yards as the blocks got made down the field, but Mike Doss comes in uncovered. And Bruschi's got -2 yards on 2 carries in the first half. Pete Bruschi, no slouch this year. He's got 868 yards, averages 5.2 yards a carry, 2nd down and 13. They're going to try Bruschi again, and Bruschi will fight ahead for 3 yards. 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Renegades. .905 to go in the first half. 21-7 Sioux Falls. They have looked unstoppable offensively here in the first half at home. Redfeather on a 3rd down and 10. Back to pass. And Redfeather is sacked for the first time tonight. 4th down and 12. The first punt of the evening is coming up. And the Renegades have to be careful. This could get out of hand quickly. Their defense needs a pulse. Punt is away from OKC. James will call for a fair catch at the 31-yard line. The SFL is presented by DAC Stats and OBS Studios, celebrating our 7th season here on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. And I'm not sure how people don't know this by now, but the SFL State of League address, major announcements coming. Monday, September 26th, that's in 4 days, people. 6 Central, 7 Eastern, right here on the SFL Network. 8:23 to go in the first half. Can anyone stop Julian Tyree and this Sparrows attack? Two in the backfield. Tyree drops back to pass. Deep ball. Tyree caught over the defense. Jordan Jennings is an animal. Wow. Jennings press coverage on Michael. He's got him with about a half a step, and then he just turns on the burners. If you're Oklahoma City, this is humiliating. You haven't lost a game badly all year, and this is just insane. Jordan Jennings has got to be over 200 yards in this first half. And I know Jordan Jennings is the number one receiver in the league, but goodness gracious. Renegades have no answer. And again, initially, Michael was not too far out of position. But there was no help over the top to Michael, and Jennings is just the faster player. Wow. Oklahoma City hit over the head with a brick as Malone returns from his goal line to the 24. And I don't even know where to begin with OKC. I mean, I guess you have to keep trying to score, but Sioux Falls, 4 touchdowns, 4 possessions, and they look absolutely lethal. And arguably, you could make the case that they look better than Santa Fe through 8 weeks if this onslaught continues against the Renegades tonight, which has been quite surprising considering OKC's defense has been pretty good. Pete Bruschi, best run of the night, picks up 8, and that's about the best thing Oklahoma City could have done on 1st and 10 down 21. Eat some time off the clock. You saw their great drive on their opening drive. Red Feather is having a solid night. That interception hurt. But if they can milk 3 or 4 minutes off this clock and put some points on the board, that could calm their defense down a little bit. Toss out to Bruschi, and Bruschi is hit in the backfield. A loss of 2. 3rd down and 5 at the 29. $7:25 to go. There's a look at Delta Coakley. And Red Feather will go gun on 3rd down. They need just past the 34-yard line. And Red Feather will hand it off to Pete Bruschi. And Bruschi is stood up for no gain. Maybe a yard. Gage Wilson on the play. That's not what I envisioned for OKC on a 3rd down and 5. And another punt is coming up. A 3 and out for the Renegades. A disastrous first half. It's hard to fathom how OKC is going to break out of this spell. Their offense seems out of sync, and their defense definitely seems discombobulated as Billy Joe Casper, who is clearly their best defender, has been silenced in this first half. They're just not even targeting him. They're going after Michael on the outside, and Cam Michaels having the worst game of his career. .6:34 to go in the first half. Sioux Falls trying to make it 5 for 5. This is unfathomable here in the first half. Back to pass, Tyree. Tyree in trouble. Has to flip it out to Beasley, and Beasley will pick up 2. Finally, OKC gets some pressure as Tyree's been getting that ball out of his hands quick tonight. Sioux Falls' top offensive game this year is just 37. They're 9 points away from their best offensive output of the season. And look at Jordan Jennings. Astronomical numbers. 124 yards away from being the highest single game receiving yards leader in the SFL in season 7. Tyree to pass, hits Jennings again, wide open. Oh, Jennings makes 2 people miss and fights ahead to the Renegade 43-yard line. I don't know what you can do but to just bow to Jordan Jennings. I mean, this guy, whether it's short or long, is making every play in the book in this first half. And honestly, with Jordan Jennings' performance in this first half, you almost have to start talking about potential MVP candidate. This guy is tough to stop. I mean, really tough to stop. Five and a half to go in the first half. Jennings pass down the middle. Oh, he caught it with one hand! With one hand! This is ridiculous! Jordan Jennings is going off. This may be the greatest performance by a player in one half of football that I've seen in a long time, especially from a receiver. One-handed catch in traffic for a 9-yard pickup. Wow. Second down and 1 for Sioux Falls. Beasley will take the handoff, and he got the first down to the 32. Jordan Jennings getting revved up to play Tallahassee next week, apparently. And I bet the Pride, who have struggled on offense this year, wish that they had not let go of Jordan Jennings. 4:38 to go in the first half. First and 10 at the 32. Beasley is the receiver, and a nice tackle in the open field by Romberg. Beasley just 14 yards on 8 grabs, but look at those numbers from Jordan Jennings. His 236 is 19 yards off a season high of 255 for 3 touchdowns when he faced the NYC Sailors. That was also his highest receptions game with 13. Oh my goodness, second down and 10. Beasley will take the handoff. Beasley got away! Benny Beasley picks up 8. Sioux Falls can do no wrong in the first half. Wow. Jordan Jennings, the only team that managed to lock him down was Orlando. 7 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Otherwise, Jennings has been over 100 yards every game. Back to pass Tyree down the middle of the field. That pass is incomplete, and boy, did OKC need an interception there. It's 4th down, and Sioux Falls is limited to a field goal. Goodness gracious, this is like my head is spinning here. Sioux Falls' offense has made so many brilliant plays in such a short amount of time. It's been hard to swallow. We should mention Carolina limited Jennings to 107 yards on 8 grabs. He did not reach the end zone in that game. This is a 40-yard field goal for Sammy Prefontaine. Be 5 scores and 5 possessions for Sioux Falls in the first half. And the left-footed kicker's field goal is on the way and good. So Sioux Falls extends their lead to 24. And I don't know where to even begin with the analysis of this game. My instinct says to go with just Jordan Jennings' masterful play. I mean, he's making tremendous plays down the field. Obviously, the play action early hurt OKC. Then it was the deep ball. And now it's just Jennings making phenomenal plays. You can tell his confidence is at an all-time high. Malone returns, but won't even get to the 20. OKC starts at the 18. Wow. Of course, Scott King, 16 catches, 324 yards, an SFL season record, and 3 touchdowns. But Jordan Jennings has already matched the 3 touchdowns and is well on his way to matching the yards and receptions. And if OKC can't get things figured out, Pete Bruschi on the carry up the middle picks up 2, although that's not a very generous spot. Looked like at least 3. Mike Doss with his 3rd tackle, second down and 8. Renegades sticking with the run. They want to make sure that they keep continuing to try to get Bruschi involved in this game. It's going to be hard to do that as this game unfolds if Sioux Falls keeps playing the way that they are playing. Second down and 8, back to pass, Red Feather, and that pass is caught on the sideline. That was actually a horrendous spot of Pete Bruschi. I thought for sure he was well past the 30 on that first down carry, but they marked him shy of the 30, even right about at the 29-yard line, 21-yard line. I'm getting my yard lines confused here, folks. My apologies. I meant past the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 5 at the 23 for OKC. Back to pass Redfeather. Redfeather fires down the middle. That pass intercepted. This is brutal. A.J. Levy with his 2nd of the game. It's just one of those nights. This has been a rout from the start. A.J. Levy steps right in front of a pass in double coverage. Horrible pass from Joseph Redfeather. Receiver not even close to being open. And this is the exact opposite of what last night was in the SFL. And the only thing left to do is admire Jordan Jennings in this first half. Oklahoma City needs a miracle. Hand off to Benny Beasley, and Beasley is smacked down after a 1-yard pickup. Romberg on the tackle as we approach the 2-minute warning. Still a 3-score game. Obviously, the field goal is going to do something to add on to this total unless OKC can force a field goal. Still a lot of football left to be played, and we'll find out, I think, pretty quickly in the 3rd quarter if the Renegades have any juice. The 1 touchdown on a long bomb to Bovine. Back to pass Tyree. Out to Beasley, and Beasley cuts back inside before getting popped at the 22-yard line. Beasley has been a complete non-factor in the passing game. He's actually been more lethal on the ground. And we've actually reached the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network. Most points for Sioux Falls this season is 37. They have 31 in the first half. Most points Renegades have given up is 38. That was last week. And they've given up 31 here in the first half. 4 receivers, trips off to the left side. Play action. Jennings, deep ball down the field. Caught again inside the 10, down to the 8. No quit in Sioux Falls. I mean, they are just ratcheting it up. And Oklahoma City's normally effective pass rush has been non-existent here in the first half. Everything's been non-existent except Bovine in the first half. Two receivers off to the left side. And Tyree is back to pass. Tyree fires, end zone. Wobbly pass is knocked away by Bose, or maybe Casper. But still, Renegades cannot get a hand on an interception, and it's 2nd and goal at the 8. Just zero momentum right now with the Renegades.
Second and goal from the Rockets, 8-yard line.
High formation for Sioux Falls, up 31-7 with 1:29 to go in the first half. The handoff will go to Benny Beasley inside the 5. Beasley walked in, nobody even touched him. This is crazy. Sioux Falls has matched their season high in points in the first half. OKC did not come to play ball tonight. I don't think anyone saw this coming. (37-7). Sioux Falls, I honestly am just as surprised at how well they have played. They beat the Maulers by 14, beat the Dragons by 6 in recent weeks, lost the previous game at Carolina, beat Dallas by 8. They don't have a double-digit win since week 3 back against NYC. And they're up by 30 in the first half. If I would have told you Benny Beasley would have more yards on the ground than through the air in the first half of play tonight, you probably would have called me crazy. 2 yards deep in the end zone, Malone on the return to the 22. Well, the only positive for OKC, depending upon how you want to look at it, is there's still 2 quarters and change left. Although that could turn into a negative if the Renegades continue to play as they've been playing. 1:22 to go in the first half. OKC is down 38-7. And Red Feather's pass is intercepted. Oh my goodness. Deltha Coakley. Sioux Falls is making so many plays I can't even keep up on the scoreboard. And this has got to be one of the most disgusting first half performances of any team in the league this year. Red Feather is a nightmare to watch in this first half. And Deltha Coakley gets the interception. That's 3 for Sioux Falls. This is a match made in hell for OKC tonight. Well, it was nice having a close game last night. Tyree's under center. Tyree back to pass, fires it outside. That's caught by Cannon. 4 catches on 7 targets for Caesar Cannon. And with Sioux Falls, with Tallahassee at home next week, whew, what a brutal opportunity there for the Pride. Of course, Pride are 3-5. They're behind Minneapolis, Orlando, and LA for playoff contention. As will Oklahoma City likely be tonight as Cannon makes another catch. 3rd down and 5 coming up. K Sports halftime report coming up next. I'm still dumbfounded. I just can't believe what I've seen here in this first half of play. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Jennings back to pass. Jennings going long down the middle. Caught again. Just tip your hat. It's Sioux Falls' night. Caesar Cannon inside the 10 down to the 9 in some pretty tight coverage. Sioux Falls is going for 45. Tyree, handoff to Beasley. Beasley is all alone. Why isn't anyone in the middle of the field for OKC? 2nd and goal at the 1. Goal line defense here, back to pass, and the pass is in the end zone and intercepted. Finally, Cam Michael wins a battle on Jordan Jennings. Wow. And Oklahoma City gets a defensive stop, their first of the night. Trips off to the left for Red Feather with 32 seconds to go in the first half, and the Renegades finally get a defensive stop. Red Feather back to pass. He has thrown 3 picks. Bovine for the first down catch and a timeout for the Renegades. They have 2 left in the half. Obviously, the other blowout that comes to mind in the league this year was Louisville on top of Dallas. It was 31-3 at the break. Obviously, this is a 31-point margin. We've had our fair share of blowouts in SFL history. Red Feathers under center with split backs in the backfield. Oklahoma City trying to salvage a nightmare of a first half. Red Feather back to pass. And Red Feather, not a lot of places to go. And Brewski lost 2 yards. Everyone was covered. And the clock is rolling. That was about the worst possible thing OKC could have done on that play. Brewski should have just dropped the ball. And they're just going to hand it off to Brewski. Brewski's got some room, and Pete Brewski got a first down. But Oklahoma City decides to wait to burn a timeout with 3 seconds to go. You know me, I'm always here to bring up bad memories. Well, there you go. The biggest blowout in league history, thanks to our stat man, Fletter 5, is 49 points. Obviously, we're still a ways away from that. 76 is the record, obviously, by Minneapolis. And I don't think that Sioux Falls is going to get to 76 tonight. But Joseph Redfeather's night has definitely taken a turn for the worse. Hail Mary formation for OKC to end the half, and he could be looking at his 4th interception of the first half. Redfeather trying to make something happen late against a 3-man rush, has to scramble away and just throw it away. Couldn't even get a Hail Mary off down the field, and that is the end of the first half of play. Couldn't have gone much worse for OKC, and we'll see if they've got any juice in the second half. 38-7. This is the SFL Network on Twitch TV, and the 2K Sports Halftime Report starts right now. Oklahoma City does get the ball to start the second half. SFL postgame show immediately following the conclusion of tonight's game, as we do every night of SFL action. Malone on the return, out past the 20 to the 25-yard line. And that's where Oklahoma City will try to put a nightmarish first half behind them. Chat enjoying themselves through the blowout, or at least most of the people in the chat. 38-7. And the handoff to Brewski loses 6 yards. Mike Doss on the tackle. And there's just no positives here for OKC. Things not working out for the Renegades tonight. The interesting thing is, if the score holds, there's obviously a three-way tie for third place in the Teal Conference at 4-4. The Maulers and Sharks have yet to play as Red Feather drops back to pass, so swinging outside to Six Killer to make it a more manageable third down and 10 as Six Killer's got 5 grabs on the night. Minneapolis and Los Angeles have not played, but Orlando has played both the Sharks and the Maulers, I believe. Or no, Los Angeles is still on the schedule for Orlando, so LA still has both games left with their 4-4 competitors. Red Feather gets away from a sack and overthrows an open receiver. 4th down, 3 and out. So if the playoffs were to start today, it would be Minneapolis, the 3 seed, LA, the 4 seed, Orlando, the 5 seed, and then Oklahoma City and Tallahassee also have not played yet this season. A couple 3 and 5 teams, and Houston is at 2 and 6. They'd be 2 games back of the playoffs. They have not played Minneapolis yet. A lot still to be decided in the Teal. So Oklahoma City has to kick it away. A bad 3 and out to start the half as James returns up to the 40.
6 yards on the play. Ball is spotted at the 41-yard line.
It's been a long time since Oklahoma City has lost a blowout game. You'd have to go all the way back to February 25th when they last played Santa Fe. They lost 51-28 in that contest. Toss to Beasley will lose yards in the backfield, a loss of 1. Last time OKC lost by 31 points was a horrendous loss to Louisville, 52-10, way back on February 11th, which dropped the Renegades at the time to 1-5. Renegades, a changed team this year, but they look like the old OKC Renegades tonight. They have played terrible in just about all phases. Pass over the middle is caught. Pickup of 8. That's Caesar Cannon, who's slowly creeping up to Jordan Jennings. It was Jordan Jennings and A.J. Levy in the first half. Jennings with the 8 catches, 236 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and Levy with a couple of key interceptions.
From your star, 48-yarder.
3 receivers for Sioux Falls, 2 to the bottom of the screen. And on 3rd down, Tyree's pass down the field is caught at the 40-yard line to the 39. And I believe it's Jennings again. It is. That'll be 9 catches for Jordan Jennings. Jordan Jennings working his way open on a crossing route. And just makes it happen. The Renegade defense is flustered tonight. 3 receivers, 2 in the backfield. 4 down linemen for OKC. Tyree back to pass. And Tyree is going deep down the field. Caught again by Jennings, who is marked down at the 11-yard line. A bizarre play there. I thought he was going to go in for a touchdown. Let's take a look at it again. Jennings approaching 300 yards. He's just sick tonight. And yeah, his knee did touch down. Good call by the officials. I thought at first glance he just broke a tackle. Jennings is just straight up dominating. 1st and 10 at the 11. 2 in the backfield. Beasley will take the swing. You can see it coming. Hurdles a defender. Touchdown! I might as well take the 4th quarter off. This is humiliating. Isaac Holt gets blocked up, can't make the stop on Beasley, and that's really the first time we've seen Beasley do anything here in this game, in the passing game. Well, the Raiders got some stats. Their largest, Sioux Falls' biggest franchise victory was earlier this season against Orlando, 27-7. And the extra point nearly blocked, but good, 45-7. Prefontaine will kick it deep from the 5, and Malone to the 24. Clearly, Queen City's owner not watching our game. These games are always too close. Clearly checking out Queen City and DC tonight, as the winner in that game goes to 3-5 and will be tied with NYC for that 4th and final spot in the Gray Conference race. And off to Pete Bruschi. Bruschi gets maybe a half a yard. 17. Benny Beasley's got almost 5 yards a carry tonight. Beasley's 38 rushing yards in this game. He averages about 20 a game. That's his career high. Beasley has a career high 38 yards on the ground tonight. How about that? Handoff Bruschi on 2nd down, and the block does not hold on the outside. Bruschi's got no help. He's got no spring in his step. Levy another tackle. Previously, Beasley's high on the ground was 36 yards on 12 carries against Orlando. 6:38 to go in the 3rd. Out of the gun for Joseph Redfeather. Redfeather back to pass. Hit as he threw, and it's caught. There is a flag on the play. Was Boyer out of bounds? Is the question. Oh my goodness. You just can't get any worse than that. Redfeather hit as he threw, but Boyer had been pushed out of bounds down the field, and he comes back inbounds to make the catch, and it's an ineligible receiver, and it's 3rd and 12. Wow. Tip your hat, Sioux Falls. It's been their night all night. Joseph Redfeather on 3rd down and long, back to throw, and he fires that one. It's nearly a pick 6 for Wilson, looking for Bovine 4th down. Another punt coming for OKC. We're not even halfway through the 3rd. Inside the SFL, it will be Sunday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern here in a few days to break down Week 9. I'll be on with the crew as well, getting set for a busy Sunday of action. And it should be a fantastic Week 9 and a fantastic week next week in the SFL. Of course, it all begins with a very pivotal game. It's the 2-6 Cleveland Vipers and the 2-6 Carolina Skyhawks. I'll be on the call Sunday, 6 Central, 7 Eastern to start Week 9. Probably a must-win game for both of those teams as those teams' playoffs start this week. The Vipers and Skyhawks go toe-to-toe. Cleveland's won 2 in a row. And through the last 2 weeks, it's actually looked like one of the better teams at the bottom of the Gray Conference. Sacked there by Roosevelt Wallace on Julian Tyree, a loss of 4. At least it'll keep the clock moving.
2nd and 13 from your stars.
Other action on Sunday night, Orlando and Houston, Santa Fe, Los Angeles. A couple of crucial as Julian Tyree takes off and runs, and Billy Joe Casper stuffs that. Back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 10.
4 yards on the play. Casper.
Score update from Buffalo. Queen City leads the Dragons 23-13. There's 2:28 to go in the third.
3rd and 10. Ball at the 44.
And it does feel a little bit like deja vu with Cleveland. They were 2-4 last year and won 4 of their last 6. They were 0-6 this year and have won their last 2. 4 receivers for Tyree. Tyree's pass is dropped by Caesar Cannon. 4th down, and Oklahoma City's defense forces a punt. OKC will have Minneapolis next week. We'll be looking to fend off OKC for that 4th and final playoff spot. Of course, Minneapolis has to love the way this week is developed. They get a win over Orlando, and when all the dust settles, they're in 3rd place in the Teal Conference. They would take on Sioux Falls in the first round. If Sioux Falls is unable to top Santa Fe, Santa Fe and Sioux Falls seem destined to fight for the number 1 seed in Week 12 when they play for the only time this season.
1st and 10 from the Rockets, 22-yard line.
But the Renegades and Maulers next week, certainly a crucial game as the playoffs continue to shuffle around. Red Feather to pass, down 45-7. That pass is caught for a 2-yard pickup. Malone on the reception. 2nd down and 8. And we haven't seen the electricity from Jordan Jennings or the Sioux Falls offense in the second half. Maybe it's because they haven't needed it, but that first half was the biggest flurry of activity by one team on both sides of the ball that I've seen in a long time. I would arguably say it was more dominant than Louisville earlier this season over Dallas. That pass down the field is caught by Bovine. Red Feather's thrown for 207 yards today. And there's 4 minutes left to go in the third. 1st down at the Sparrow, 48-yard line. SFL postgame show coming up immediately following the conclusion of the action around the league tonight.
1st and 10 from the Stars, 48-yard line.
Two receivers top of the screen for OKC. Brewski is off to the left side. He'll take a handoff and be dropped for a 3-yard loss. Mike Doss is having a tremendous game off the edge. He has been unblocked every time.
2nd and 12.
3:20 to go in the third. Sioux Falls up 45-7. We'll actually begin the postgame show tonight as soon as Queen City and DC concludes, as this game is well out of reach for the Renegades. And if it continues this way, we'll just continue the postgame show through the 4th quarter of tonight's action.
Let's go!
Crowd chanting defense. They've gotten plenty of it tonight. I think Jennings has 1 catch in the third. He's up to 9, maybe 10 catches. Red Feather off his back foot. Fires it, nearly caught off the deflection. Jefferson in coverage. It's 4th down. We want to hear from the Sparrows, Corsairs. If the Dragons can come back, we want to hear from DC too. Maybe we'll hear from a Renegade tonight, but I doubt it. 3 minutes to go. OKC will punt it away. For Sioux Falls, it's not the easiest road for the rest of the season. They got Tallahassee and Houston in the next couple of weeks. A couple of teams under 500 that'll be trying to play the upset card on Sioux Falls, but I'm not sure anyone wants to play Houston. Houston has looked good in the last couple of weeks. They've just blown games in the second half. And then the Maulers come to town. Minneapolis gave Sioux Falls a pretty good game last week in the rain in Minneapolis. Maulers have had games in the rain at home back-to-back weeks. And we're actually going to get some rain here in Sioux Falls later tonight. Tyree's in trouble. He's going to be sacked. Another 4-yard loss. And that pressure is finally starting to get to Tyree. Damon Myslinski with the sack. And what would this game have been like if OKC had not come out so poor? 400 yards for Julian Tyree and 5 touchdowns, a near perfect quarterback rating. Back to pass Tyree, and Tyree fires down the field, caught for a first down to the 25. That's Caesar Cannon to keep the clock moving and moving the chains.
15 on the play. First down, Stars.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the 3 and 4 Renegades taking on the 6 and 1 Sioux Falls Sparrows from Liberty Park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It was all Sparrows quickly. Their offense unstoppable in the first half. It was mostly Jordan Jennings who went off on the Renegades with over 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Almost all of it coming in the first half. 2nd and 9 now at the 26 after the 1-yard Beasley run.
2nd and 8 from your Stars, 26-yard.
Split backs in the backfield. And Tyree, 3-step drop, fires it. Bad pass. That pass is intercepted. And Cam Michael on the stat sheet this night is going to look pretty good. 2 picks. I'm not sure where this ball was going. Way behind the intended target. And the Renegades will pick up a first down at the Sparrow 29-yard line.
Right.
Two backs, 2 receivers for Joseph Redfeather. 1:26 to go in the third. And Redfeather will drop back to pass. Redfeather, all kinds of time, finally gets it away to Brewski, picks up just 2 yards. That's Doss on the tackle again. Mike Doss has been brilliant here in this first half, and you guys keep me posted on how Queen City and DC is doing. Again, the SFL postgame show will begin immediately following the conclusion of that game, and we'll keep this game on as we have the postgame show here tonight. Back to pass Redfeather. He'll flip it out to Brewski, and then actually loses 3 yards. Poor play there. In the Who You Got this week, it was 13-2. Sioux Falls beating Oklahoma City, but 2 people had the upset. Kenny G and Udoncha had OKC pulling the big victory out of their hats tonight. Not so. 3rd down and 8 for the Renegades. Redfeather back to pass, and Redfeather's pass up the middle is nearly intercepted and incomplete. Should kick a field goal here. 9:25 to go in the fourth quarter. And wow, Corsairs up by 17 over the Dragons. In the Who You Got, Queen City was actually favored 2-1, 10-5 in total votes. $43-yard field goal for Oklahoma City. And the 43-yard kick is good. And don't look now, folks. It's a 35-point game. Derek Brown's field goal is good. Well, this game is certainly not doing much to get excitement going around the league, but we certainly know what will. SFL State of the League address, Monday, September 26th, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. from the 8-yard line, Terrain James on the return. Up to the 28. Now, if OKC can cut this to just a 14-point deficit by the end of the third quarter, they'll be in good shape. Out of the eye for Sioux Falls, 45-10. Back to pass, and Tyree's pass caught. He was looking for Beasley. It was covered, so he hit Jennings. 11 catches for 284. Jennings is now 40 yards shy of Scott King's season record for receiving yards in a game that he just set last night. It's been the week of the receiver.
Let's go. 2nd and 2. Ball at the 36-yard line.
20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Sparrows up by 35 on a night that followed a double overtime win for Cleveland, a 6-point win for Baltimore. Tyree is sacked again. 3rd and long. Myslinski with his second sack of the quarter. 3rd of the second half here for the Renegades, coming in unblocked. And that's the end of the third. OKC 10, Sioux Falls 45. 11 minutes of football left to play here in Sioux Falls. This is the SFL Network. Third down, Tyree down the field, caught again. That's Caesar Cannon. Keeping the clock moving and the drive alive. Another first down for Sioux Falls. If you haven't already, visit the SFL shop to get your team gear. And Sage the Great, who won that $50 SFL shop contest earlier this season, his merchandise is en route. Excited for him to get his earnings. Should be here this week. If you're listening back to this, Sage the Great. Back to pass. And Beasley will pick up just a yard. No gain, actually, on the play.
Number 29 with the push out of bounds.
10:25 left. Sioux Falls dominated from the kickoff. And when OKC got that touchdown to Bovine, you were thinking, well, maybe the Renegades can string a couple of stops together and settle down in this game. Nope, never happened. Tyree back to pass, down the middle, caught by Cannon again. It was Jennings in the first half, it's Cannon in the second half, and Sioux Falls is into Renegade territory. And the Corsairs have now built a 20-point lead. Look at the coverage on Cannon. They're all over him, including Robert Bose. No one catching passes except Sioux Falls receivers tonight. Queen City, a statement game at home against the Dragons to battle the Sailors for second in the North. And off to Beasley. He'll lose a yard in the backfield. We already mentioned it was a career high night for Beasley on the ground.
Number 67, no gain on the play.
And this Sioux Falls offense proved tonight why they're so lethal. Oklahoma City completely shut down the swing pass, and it didn't even get close to mattering. Tyree back to throw, down the field, caught again. That's Jennings. I mean, these guys are wide open. Look at this throw from Tyree. Here comes a late fourth rusher, and Jennings easily makes the sliding catch. 1st and 10 at the OKC 22. Jennings is creeping up, may have crossed 300 yards with that catch. And Tyree Tyree just takes off right up the middle and picks up a solid 3 yards. Keeps this clock churning. 8:53 to go. And this is a nightmare situation for OKC. Remember the last big loss for the Renegades? 52-10 against Louisville. Look at where we're at. Tyree will flip it to Beasley up the middle. First down to the 9. Sioux Falls is pulling out all the stops in this game. They just won't stop. Look at this perfect execution on the shovel, and there is nobody in the middle of the field for OKC. First and goal at the 9. Jennings looking for touchdown number 4. I formation for Sioux Falls. And Tyree will hit Beasley rather. Beasley picks up 3, dragging Isaac Holt, who's done a good job against Beasley on the outside tonight. Second and goal at the 7. Cam Michael with 2 picks, but he won't want to look at the game film of the first half. Trips off to the left side, and Tyree takes it up the middle again and picks up 3 more. Third down and 4 to keep that clock moving.
4 yards on the play. Number 54, credited with the tackle.
So the question is, does Sioux Falls jump Santa Fe in the power rankings this week? Do they jump Louisville in the power rankings this week? Going to be hard to top the Wolfpack. And how far do the Renegades slide? They lost 4 very close ball games, and this is really their first massive slip-up of the season. Tyree back to pass. He's going to go left side. Pass is caught, and Jennings does not get the 4th touchdown. He had to come back for the football, and then on a broken tackle, got run out of bounds at the 1-yard line, and Jennings is denied touchdown number 4 on the night. Sammy Prefontaine will kick the field goal.
Rodriguez will come in to attempt a field goal from the 1-yard line.
How many minutes we got in Buffalo? .6:42 to go, and the 17-yard field goal, no rush at all on the kicker. That's good, 48-10. Sparrows, who seem to be up 31-7 at a drop of a hat in this game. 4:12 left to play in Buffalo, and we'll go to the post-game show immediately following the conclusion of that game. Malone up to the 27. .6:29 left to go. Oklahoma City is routing
First and 10.
the Sparrows, and it has not been close. Pete Bruschi, a complete non-factor. Joseph Redfeather had a miserable second quarter. And Redfeather's pass down the field is knocked away by Kirk Marquez, who we haven't mentioned hardly at all tonight. Second and 10 for the Renegades. Stops the clock with 6:24 to go.
Ball at the 27 yard.
Joseph Redfeather's pass to the outside, caught by Six Killer. By the way, I want to let you all who are listening know that Week 10 will have some schedule changes. Week 10 will likely be a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday slate of games. And I'm finalizing that schedule now, but we've got a lot going on in Week 10 that I'm going to have to navigate around. as Red Feather's pass is caught by Brewski, and Brewski lost yardage, 4th down.
For a loss of 1 on the play.
6 minutes and counting here in Sioux Falls.
Let's go! Selected the punt. Baseball, deep to receive.
Don't forget to join us Sunday morning. Hey, turn us on before church, why don't you? At 9 Central, 10 Eastern, as Doug Bose, Alan Drum, the whole inside the SL crew will be previewing Week 9, and I'll be on the show to discuss the upcoming State of the League address and many other various subjects. So join us on the Inside the SFL this week and get those power rankings in, folks. Who doesn't want to have their opinion heard about what's going on around the league? 10 carries, 38 yards for Benny Beasley tonight. A strong night for Beasley on the ground. And they don't need much out of him, but 10 carries for 38 yards certainly helps. Beasley will lose a yard, however, and you don't want to dip back under your career high.
For a loss of 2 yards on the play.
5:13 to go in the ball game. 2nd down and 11.
2nd and 11.
Sioux Falls trying to bleed some clock here. 3 receivers. The starters are still in the game for Sioux Falls. There's a penalty on OKC. First penalty of the night. We really have a clean slate, but Sioux Falls nearly picks up the 1st down anyway. That's Terrain James. We're still waiting on Jordan Jennings if he can potentially break Scott King's record from last night, although the starters will likely be pulled in a moment. Sparrows actually decline. It's 3rd down and 1. 2-minute warning in Buffalo. Corsairs still holding on to a lead.
Third and 1. Ball at the 46-yard line.
Jennings is at the bottom of the screen, defended by Michael. And the handoff to Beasley. Got a 1st down to keep the clock moving. Actually, that is Freddie Fox in the backfield, a hometown favorite. Fox and the reserves are in the ball game. And now we get some Freddie Fox action. But Jordan Jennings, it does not appear, will get the record tonight. But he had a masterful game. There's no doubt about that. 4:28 to go. Sioux Falls is bleeding the clock. And actually going to throw this ball. And nope, I stand corrected. That's a sack from Myslinski. That's his 3rd on the day, 2nd and 16. Damon Myslinski, a bright spot in the second half for this Renegade defense. He's just coming in unblocked now a few times tonight.
2nd and 16 from your Stars, 41-yard line.
You're not going nowhere.
Under 4 minutes to play. All Sioux Falls all the time. They'll keep pace with Santa Fe. And we've got 3 teams in the SFL that have been dominant. Santa Fe 7-1, Sioux Falls 7-1, Louisville 8-0, and everyone else is just chasing them. Three and a half to play, 3rd and 16.
Third and 16.
Game's winding down across the league. Down to 3 on the play clock. And out of the shotgun, Sioux Falls going to throw for it to try to keep the drive alive. Deep ball is intercepted. That's Tank Savage with a deep return near midfield. And Tank Savage will get him one. Cam Michael with 2 picks, Savage with 1 here in garbage time. That was actually Caesar Cannon, the intended receiver. And Oklahoma City will try to draw this one out. First down at the 48. Tyree has thrown 3 interceptions tonight, but he frankly just does not care. Had one of his better games of the season. Red feather to pass, deep ball, middle, caught through a couple of defenders. That was Bovine. First down to the Sparrow 36. And Red feather slow to get there. And deep ball into coverage is knocked away by Anderson. Maybe we'll see some action from Adam Hollister and Sage Schumann. A lot of star players actually pretty quiet tonight for Sioux Falls defense. Haven't really heard much from Jace Jefferson. Zeno Sika's been real quiet. They haven't tested him at all. Kirk Marquez, Gage Wilson, not much out of them. And Schumann, Hollister, Parker, Palos, we just haven't heard much from them because it's been the Jennings show all night. Red feathers pass, caught by Boyer. Boyer inside the 10 with a nice burst of speed down to the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. Good catch and run from Michael Boyer. 2:20 to go in the 4th. Red feather back to pass, and Red feather hit as he threw. Caught in traffic. DW6 killer climbs the ladder and gives Oklahoma City and Joseph Redfeather his second touchdown of the night. This is a nice catch by Six Killer over the top of Adam Hollister. Extra point for the Renegades to cut it to 31. 18 seconds left in the Queen City. We will head to the post-game show once that game is final, as we know the result of Sioux Falls and Oklahoma City as well. Extra point for the Renegades is up and good.
The extra point is good.
48-17, and Lord knows Renegades won't be winning this tiebreaker. Onside kick here for OKC. They do still have all 3 of their timeouts, and we have the 2-minute warning. And the onside kick goes way up the field. And still on the return is Sioux Falls to the OKC 44-yard line. Not the best onside kick I've ever seen. And onside kicks this season in the SFL seem to not be as effective as it's been in the past. We've had some pretty wild games with successful onside kicks sprinkled in.
First and 10 from the Rockets, 44-yard line.
Sioux Falls is going to pass here just before the 2-minute warning. Freddie Fox with the catch. Freddie Fox is pushed out of bounds. A 7-yard pickup for the speedster.
With the push out of bounds.
Freddie Fox making waves to the Renegade 37-yard line.
Second and 2 from the Rockets, 37-yard line.
3 in the backfield. And Fox with the carry. Fox lost a yard. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network.
No gain.
Oklahoma City has all 3 timeouts to burn.
3rd and 3 from the Rockets, 37-yard line.
2 in the backfield, tight set for Sioux Falls, comfortably winning their 7th game of the season. Another pass. This is to Freddie Fox, and Fox has, well, he did not get a first down. Timeout OKC, they'll get the ball back once more. 4th down coming up. Queen City and DC is a final, and we'll head to the SFL postgame show right now as OKC and Sioux Falls finish up. Queen City gets a statement win tonight against the DC Dragons, 33-20. Meanwhile, Sioux Falls rolls over Oklahoma City, currently 48-17 as the game wraps up. Open line, 210-473-8428. We want to hear your reactions on Thursday night's game. Get your thoughts on a preview of the State of the League address and your reaction to the SFL and how it's played out through the first 8 weeks of the season. Timeout Renegades, they are out of timeout, second down, as we wait for our first caller. So obviously, not the game we expected here in South Dakota. Thought Oklahoma City would come out firing and looking to prove a point that their 3-4 record was just a mirage. But tough game for them tonight. Kneel downs for Sioux Falls, although they'll end up kicking another field goal here before it's all said and done to get over 50. Again, open line. If you want to talk on the postgame show, you're more than welcome to. If you don't, that's okay too. It's been a long week. We've got a lot to prepare for in the SFL State of the League address, and just want to give you the floor if you want it. Down to 1:18 to go in the fourth. Sioux Falls bleeding the clock. The question really becomes, and I'll get to that in a moment, as the owner of Sioux Falls is on the line. Jason McGee, welcome to the program.
Thanks.
Did you expect this tonight?
Not quite this, that's for sure. I had a good feeling about it, but to actually see that happen was pretty surprising.
We didn't really get to touch on the subject tonight because the game got out of hand so quickly. But this is a battle of Army guys. Retired Army, OKC, active duty Army. I have that correct, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a battle of Army guys, and it's the first time, I believe, that Sioux Falls and Oklahoma City have played. So kind of feel good to come out against your Army buddy there.
Yeah, it was definitely good, and OKC's been so solid, especially defensively all year. They just haven't been able to pull out some of the games, but it was definitely one of those games you had to mark on the calendar and know you had to bring your best because they were going to bring it, but obviously they didn't get things executed the way they wanted to this week, but there's no doubt they'll be back.
Yeah, what do you think happened with the Jordan Jennings explosion? I mean, you know that he's a great player, and is this sort of your message to the league saying, hey, you want to shut down Beasley? Better be careful.
Well, it's definitely a message. I mean, be careful what you wish for. If you want us to throw to the other guy, guess what? That guy is the other guy. Just letting the league know right now.
Yeah. If you don't want my swing pass, I'll throw to the best receiver in the league. I have no problem doing that.
Exactly.
Sage Schumann there with a pass deflection there. That's good to see out of the rookie. But you get to 7-1. You're sort of on pace on this two trains colliding. There in Week 12, do you think that both of you can get there at 11-1? Or 10-1, I guess.
I think so. I think you can. That's what I was. Honestly, I didn't expect us to fall short ahead of time. I thought one of us were gonna end up with one loss or something. But either way, I think we're fine-tuning things and getting ready for the postseason. I think all the teams at the top are at that point where you're not running around trying to make all these huge changes. You're just trying to fine-tune and get the bad things out, get a few more of the good things, and we had a lot of good things tonight.
Sioux Falls Sparrow owner Jason McGee with us on the SFL postgame show. Sioux Falls and the OKC wrapping up here with 12 seconds left. Queen City topped DC. That game's already gone final tonight, 33-20, to round out Week 8 as Red Feathers pass is caught for first down to go out of bounds. Out of the three opponents that you have left, Tallahassee, Houston, Minneapolis, which do you view as sort of your toughest opponent that you may be a little concerned about tripping you up?
Well, Minneapolis is always going to be a tough game. It doesn't matter if we beat them by 14 last time. They have a very methodical offense. I think they will lead the league in completions by 50 or more. They're just always a team you have to watch out for sure. So, plus we need to complete the revenge and sweep them this year like they did for us last year.
Why does your team not seem to be able to finish games as you give a touchdown on the last play of the game there?
I don't know.
It's a real problem for you guys.
Yeah. Frustrating. Oh, wow.
Michael Boyer with that last touchdown as OKC makes the score a little bit more respectable. Benny Beasley was decent on the ground tonight, and you have to like, as I'm sure Santa Fe does too, when the ground game gives you an extra spark of energy. It just sort of fuels that fire that much more, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and it just makes that second down or that third down that much shorter. And we're already a team that's pretty good vertically and pretty good at our third down conversions this year. So when you have that on top of it, it's a definite plus.
Last season, I think, if I remember correctly, what was it, 8-4 was your record last season?
Yep.
Yeah, 8-4, but with the first round loss to Queen City. What are the what was maybe the biggest lesson you learned there after going 8-5 last year to now what looks like a much stronger Sparrow team that's 7-1 right now?
Not to be over dramatic, not to make 800 changes when 4 will do. I think just before that Queen City playoff game, Tyree was hot, Beasley was hot, and our two other guys, everybody was a weapon and everybody was playing well, but I think we just adjusted a little too much, and it took us off balance for the playoff game, because obviously you beat a team twice in the regular season in Queen City, you should be able to finish the job in the playoffs when it counts. But so for this year, it's about fine-tuning. We already know we're an elite team, so just getting better every little bit at a time and getting rid of the bad stuff. Nothing too flashy, and that's really the goal.
8 weeks into the season, 4 to go, at least in the regular season anyway. What has surprised you the most about the Teal Conference and how it's sort of shaking out?
I think just seeing the championship teams. I mean, not even just the Teal Conference, just seeing the teams that went to the championship being where they are now. That's got to be the biggest surprise. I mean, I know it seems like the teams that win kind of struggle the next season, but still, just seeing that, Houston's so much better than what their record is, and so I'm frustrated for them to be in that position.
Billy Joe Casper, who had 10 interceptions coming into the night, he had 11 tackles in this game, but it almost appeared like you just didn't even throw his way. Was he any sort of factor in your plan this week, or did you feel like you already had a good enough offense or an offense that was tailored to go away from him anyway?
Yeah, we move things around quite a bit, and we don't like to put a helmet on a helmet and say beat this guy all the time. Sometimes we just shift things over and move Jennings over into the slot and move Cannon over to Jennings' side. We try and mix it up a lot so that there's not the same thing out there every time for a pass threat. So I think we have a good system in place that one guy isn't going to hurt us too bad. But like I said, OKC is definitely going to be back for next week.
Final score, 51-24, Sioux Falls over OKC, as that game is now finished up along with Queen City's victory over the DC Dragons. Final numbers on Jordan Jennings. He did get over 300 yards, so he's got that to his name. 306 on 13 catches, but he caught every ball thrown to him. 13 catches on 13 targets, which is pretty impressive. I don't care who you are. Beasley finished with 14 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown as he picked things up a bit late there. And Cannon was also over 100 yards. State of the League address is coming up on Monday. What are you most excited about to hear, Jason?
I want to see what the player involvement is exactly and what's in store for them. I'm sure they're excited to hear about it too. So that's that, among a few other things like the hiring that you did. I saw on the SFL Jobs Openings channel. That'll be interesting to hear about as well.
Yeah. Now there's a feature that no one knows about. Owners know of a feature that will be new, but there's a feature that no one knows about that will be announced at the State of the League address that is coming. Last night, Mike Osai guessed end zone cam. You want to take a stab at what it might be?
I think I have a good idea of what it's going to be, involving multiple games, but I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to on the show.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to seem like a psychic or anything.
No.
Jason, thanks for your time and congrats on the 7-1 start, and we'll see you in 3 weeks against Santa Fe.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Jason and the dominant Sparrows continue their run. Open line 210-473-8428. As we wrap things up here in week number 8, a wild week in week 8, really. But yeah, it's been wild watching things unfold this year. Of course, obviously, let's talk about Queen City for a second. They get a great win tonight. T.E. Haynes actually was getting a lot of carries prior to his exit. He actually got hurt in the game, and then Mack, the backup for Queen City, had a great night against D.C. D.C.'s defense has just been a mess all season as the Dragons fall to 2-6, back with Carolina and Cleveland. Queen City and D.C. Are both 3-5, or Queen City and NYC rather are both 3-5, as they they are tied for that 4th and final playoff spot. And I believe Queen City and NYC have another meeting this year. That could be the game to watch for the final spot in the playoff, and that is also a Week 12 game. Just a tremendous job. I'll hang on for another 60 seconds to give anyone a shot that wants to call into the SFL postgame show, but if not, Week 8 will come to a close nicely as Sioux Falls emphatically beats Oklahoma City 51-24 after a flurry of close games last night. Not the case here tonight on Thursday Night Football across the Simulation Football League. We're excited about Monday night. We're excited to get Week 9 going. And we're excited to continue to have all of you along for the ride. This will conclude the SFL postgame show. Your final, Oklahoma City 24, Sioux Falls 51. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Kevin Irvine, and we're saying good night. SFL headquarters, Denton, Texas.